Hello, my name is Malia. I am 17 years old and I'm a senior at Design Tech High School. I got really hooked onto the game because of my family, mainly my dad. So my dad, he'd take me and my brothers out to play family golf, and we just always had such a good time. We'd compete against my dad and try to hit our drives further than him. That was never possible because my dad was always a drive for show kind of guy, never a putt for dough. After he started coaching us, I think his game started getting better as well. We started playing golf more and more, and we got a little bit more serious about the game. So my mom looked into clinics or golf lessons that we could be a part of. She wanted something that was affordable, so she looked into the first tee when I was about 6. I would always remember when Coach John, he first took us into the first tee classroom, and he gave me and my brother our first collared shirt and taught us about etiquette and all the core values that first tee teaches and implements into their activities. What's nice is that they teach you all these life skills that you can use not only in golf but in life as well. So I think that even some adults need to learn these life skills that first tee teaches to kids. A few years later, I took a short pause from the first tee to start playing very competitive golf. But even though I did take this break, first tee gave me all the skills necessary for me to do well at my first tournament. And even my dad, he was there and he wouldn't let me look at my scorecard. And I thought that was really strange because I think he just wanted me to live in the moment, not worry about anything else, and just play it one shot at a time. Golf also taught me how to be very precise and technical about my approach. I've applied these skills to many of my other passions, like playing the violin and dancing on point as a ballerina. I continue to play in an orchestra as a concertmaster, and in ballet, I still take on many lead roles in performances like the Nutcracker. A few years ago, my dad went unconscious at home. I was so lucky to be there when this happened, and my mom was there too. We were all there, and she performed CPR on my dad while I dialed 911. And when the paramedics came, they came to jump his heart. They jumped his heart 3 times, just enough to get his heart up and running and to the ER in time. I was waiting for my dad to come back home. I didn't know what had happened, so I thought, oh, he'll be back maybe the next day, but that definitely did not happen, and about after 3 weeks, they told us that he experienced multiple organ failures, had about 2 strokes, and he had a cardiac arrest at home. Cardiac arrest, there's about a 6% chance of survival. That was very heartbreaking. On 3 separate occasions, they told us that my dad wouldn't make it, and they told my mom to prepare the family and maybe even say our goodbyes. After a while, I was waiting, and I painted during that time. I was painting the whole time. I got my hands on all different kinds of mediums. While I was waiting, I would hang up all my art on the hospital room walls, and when I looked around, I saw so many other things from other people. Just seeing all the support and love from family members, friends, and of course the first tee. I was just super grateful because we did get through it, and after 7 weeks, he was recovered, and after about a year, he was fully recovered. I'm super grateful that he is still here with us today.
This is exciting.
During that time, it made me think about what my dad would have wanted me to do. He would have wanted me to move on from a bad shot and move on to the next one and make that one better. So I did just that. I continued to play in tournaments and practice because of all the support I got from family and friends. I got back into the first tee about a year after my dad's recovery. We reconnected with Coach John and Coach Kai after crossing paths at a golf tournament. When we came back to the first tee, everybody was so welcoming. Before the first tee, I never really liked practicing that much. Chugging away at 150 balls and putting for hours became very repetitive at times. When I came back to the first tee, everybody inspired me to want to be out on the golf course, practicing for myself and myself only, and to get better. They have definitely become like my second family, and I couldn't have asked for a better community to be a part of. When applying to play in the Delen-Briones Championship, I was selected and recognized by many coaches, not just by my golf skill, but also as myself as a whole. I found out I was chosen to play in the Delen-Briones Championship after my mom came running up the stairs to show me the email that I was chosen and selected to play. And my whole family was screaming. They were like, she got in, and we all went crazy. So it was a very exciting moment and something I'll never forget. Before the tournament, there was a parents' party where we met our pro. My partner was Paul Goidos, and we also just had a concert afterwards where we just hung out with some of the participants and had some fun. Playing with my partner was actually really fun. I mean, he wasn't having his greatest rounds. We all have those days. Golf is really hard, and he just wasn't having one of those good days, and it was okay because he did have a comeback on his third round. He played individually and he shot 7 under. The amateurs and their caddies were really nice. They helped clean my balls and they were really nice, and I think sometimes they'd even help record some of my shots. I think one of my favorite shots was the one on 8, and the caddy, he was super nice. He recorded my shot over the cliff like Jordan Spieth. From Paul, I learned how to be really humble and take it shot by shot. He really just plays golf the way golf should be played. He takes his time on all of his shots. Something that Paul taught me during this tournament was just to slow down a little bit. I think sometimes I can move a little quickly and not take my time during my pre-shot routine. So I think he really helped slow me down and think about each shot with the same amount of effort. I think one of my most memorable moments was when I played my first practice round. So I got up to the tee and these people came up to me and they shook my hand. They said, "Hi Malia, we'd like to follow you for the first 2 holes." And I was surprised. I didn't know that they were going to follow me and they wanted to interview me afterwards. So they got me mic'd up and they followed me, and it was like an amazing experience. My dad was able to watch me too from the sidelines, and on the 18th hole, when I was almost done, I texted them and they were waiting for me at the 18th green. I was coming up on my 3rd shot. I kind of hit it to the right. I went into the rough. The guy with the camera that was going to interview me afterwards, he was standing right next to me and recording the whole thing, which was really nice because that was one of my favorite moments. I hit my shot right over the tree and over the bunker, and it landed on the green, I guess. I couldn't see it from where I was, but everybody all over was saying that it went in, and I had no idea. My dad had no idea either. So I think it was a fun surprise to have, especially on the 18th hole at Pebble Beach. It was a great experience. During round 1 on my first hole, I didn't start out too well, but I hit it into the fairway sand bunker. I kind of had a tough lie, but I was able to hit a nice clean shot out of the bunker, get it really close to the pin, and I made my putt for birdie. So I really helped Paul out on that hole, which was really fun. During round 2, I had a lot of memorable moments, one of them being when all the kids from my chapter, First Tee San Francisco, came, and they came to support me, and they had all these signs with my name on it, and they were just waving it around and cheering me on, "Go Malia," and it was so fun. I wanted to be a good role model for them and be an inspiration for them, so I wanted to make sure I hit at least a good tee shot on the first hole, but I ended up doing really well, at least for the first 9 holes that they were there. It was really good, and they all wanted my autograph. I felt like a pro, and I was also treated like a pro at this tournament, so it was a really good experience. Another memorable moment was when I was walking down the 6th green, and Susie came up to me and she asked me if I could do an interview after I hit my tee shot. This is such an amazing opportunity, and I know this is a once in a lifetime thing to be on Golf Channel. My whole swing was on Golf Channel and my interview, so it was really good. Some advice I would give to a first tee participant would be just to live in the moment, and I think golf helps to teach that too. With the first tee, I think you just gotta live in the moment with your friends and just have fun. I think that's the best way to be successful. My advice to a future first tee participant in the Peer Championship would be to just take a look back and just look at where you are. I mean, you're at Pebble, you're playing Spyglass Hill with pros. It's surreal, and I think you just gotta take in every moment of it. One thing I highly recommend you do is just take the first step in shaking someone's hand, because at this tournament, you never know who you might meet or run into, and that experience, it could be life-changing. Another piece of advice that I would give to a future Pure Insurance participant would be to just have a relaxing round and don't think of it as a stressful tournament, because it's not competitive at all. First Tee designed it in a way where you can interact with your pro and just help them along the way if you can, but don't stress it. It's nothing to be stressed about. I think this was one of the first tournaments I've actually had the most fun in a long time. So this was a great experience for me, and I hope that you will too in the future. Thank you First Tee HQ and First Tee San Francisco for giving me this amazing opportunity to play in the Pure Insurance Championship. I will remember this experience forever.